Welcome, everybody, to the latest episode of Dad's Watching Sports. I am Michael Draper. He is Kyle Castles. And thank you so much for checking out the show, whether you're checking us out via our live stream on Facebook or YouTube. We appreciate that. We are part of the All Access Sports Network. We're excited to be a part of that and looking forward to continuing to do that. And thanks to them for allowing us to stream on their Facebook page as well. And it is Sunday, December 6th. Kyle, it's December 6th, man. The year's almost over. A lot of people would say, thank goodness.
I was about to say, it's 2020, so, I don't think anybody's going to be upset that this year is almost done. Hopefully we can get back to a sense of normalcy next year.
Yeah, let's hope for it. So, again, we're broadcasting live on our Facebook channels, but if you are checking us out via our podcast, thank you so much for listening each and every week. Make sure if you're checking us out in Apple Podcasts, give us a subscription and go ahead and give us a rating and review. We'd love to hear from you. What do you like about the show? What do you not like? How can we improve? What are some funny things that you like? Please do that. And also check us out on. Go ahead.
Just jump on and tell Mike that the only reason you're listening is because of me, because I am the talent.
Well, that's the truth. We talked about that with one of our former guests through email this past week. Kyle's just the talent. He just shows up and does his thing, and I got to do everything else for this podcast. So, also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Looking forward to interacting with you as well there. You can check us out, facebook.com/Dads Watching Sports. Twitter, we're at Dad Watch Sports. Instagram at Dad's Watching Sports. Kyle, it's episode 44. This is our second to last episode of the season. We're going to take the last 2 weeks off of the year. We'll get to that later on in the show, but we've got a fantastic show. You can see we're in our holiday garb. I've got my Happy Holidays tree on. Kyle says, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And we're excited because we've got the holiday song bracket, the much anticipated, highly debated song bracket coming out tonight, and we've got some guests that are going to be joining us later in the show. The Bracketeers. If you are on Twitter and you do not follow the Bracketeers, go to Twitter right now, give them a follow because they're awesome, man. They put up almost a bracket like every couple of days, and it's everything from best 80s rock bands to best movies to really any topic you can think of. And they're not only hilarious, but they do a great job of seeding their teams and things like that. And I try to vote in almost every bracket that they do, but check them out. They're going to join us later on the show to go through our holiday song bracket. Kyle, we've got 32 songs. One champion will be crowned. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all know I'm right on everything. And I mean, I know who's going to win this thing.
Of course you do. Yeah. All right. So Kyle, before we get to the bracket, we've got a couple things you and I are going to talk about first. So this past week, last week, we had two really great episodes. We had our traditional Sunday show with Melissa Tomlinson. It was fantastic. She talked about mom life, about coaching and things like that. But then we also had our college basketball preview show with Clark Kellogg of CBS Sports. Did you have a chance to go back and check out the show?
Yeah, I did. And you know what? I was really, really impressed. Yeah, we all know he knows college basketball. You follow him on social media, you can tell he's a proud dad. But man, just you never know. You never know. Somebody like that's been kind of the national spotlight, national eye for so long. You never know what you're going to get. But man, he was humble, down to earth, just a really good dude. And that was the most impressive.
Yeah, and for me, anytime I get a chance to sit down and talk some college hoops with somebody, I'm excited about it. And so it was really cool. So if you haven't checked out that episode, go back. It's the last one and kind of in our episode umbrella there. So go back and check that one out. And then while you're there, go ahead and check out all of our other episodes because we're 44 in. So we'd love for you to do that. So Kyle, we'll talk very briefly college basketball. Some big takeaways from early this season. For me, Gonzaga and Baylor fit the bill. Gonzaga is really good. It looked like they were going to go down the other night when Suggs got hurt. They brought him back in. They end up running away in that game. And then Baylor knocking off Illinois the other night. They're number 1 and number 2 for a reason. They were supposed to play yesterday, but COVID got in the way, so they weren't able to do that. But Gonzaga and Baylor, they're legit. And I'm one who – I really kind of lean towards more of the blue bloods during college basketball, but those two teams are legit. There's no doubt about that. One team I'm really not on a bandwagon yet for is Iowa. I mean, I know they've got a great player there, and Luka Garza, but I'm just not on the Iowa bandwagon. If it was football, on the other hand, I might be, but Iowa, not there. And then, man, last thing about college basketball is, man, my Cats stink. They stink. And I love Kentucky, but they're terrible, especially offensively. Calipari's got his work cut out for him. They lost to a really bad Georgia Tech team today, and it wasn't even really close. So the Cats, they stink. What about you? Any takeaways from what's basically been a week and a half to 2 weeks of college basketball?
Yeah, so the first thing I actually had written down is the Zags look good.
Yeah.
Like, I've done. I thought you were going to tell me, don't worry, this is normal. But
well, I still have not.
I'm worried about your Cats.
I haven't pushed the panic button yet, but man, they got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. And to me, I saw a chink in the armor, and I know that Vic's no longer in Starkville, but I'm talking about women's basketball real quick because I'm a State fan, and we don't have a men's team, I don't think.
Ben Howland, man,
I know, and he
just got really underachieved.
He has
really underachieved,
and he got his 500th win with the first win this season, I believe, in his career. So good for him. But whatever. I'm more excited about the women, but the number 6 women lost to South Florida the other night.
Yep.
So that was not fun to see.
No, it's not. Well, Kyle, when it's college basketball season, especially kind of during the holiday times, everybody really goes back, and ESPN has their Jimmy V week, and it's for the V Foundation to raise money for cancer research. And they always play his speech from the ESPYs the year before he passed. And it's just, and you watch that speech and you see this guy just pouring out his heart and soul. And I think it's the best speech from a sports arena that I've ever seen. What is your? I take by the look that you just gave that you don't agree necessarily, but what's your take on Jimmy V's speech and just kind of everything that's involved with that?
Look, that Jimmy V speech, it is very powerful.
Yep.
I don't know if it's the best speech. I can't think of one better.
Exactly.
But it's hard for me to say it's the best because. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know that I want to call it the best yet because I hadn't really thought about it to know if it is the best. But yeah, I mean, Jimmy V week, and I don't know if they did it this year on ESPN radio, but I know the past few years they've done auctions for special stuff. But due to COVID, I don't know if they were able to do that. And so all that's really cool, and they're raising money for a good cause. So I think it's look, Jim Valvano is a special person.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's a great thing that they do. ESPN does, raising money for the V Foundation. And, it led me to the kind of thinking of the topic, as dads and teaching our kids to give back and teaching our kids to have this humble heart and to want to help others. I know for us, that's something that we really try to push, and it's hard for a small kid to understand how blessed they are and how much good things that they have in their life. But, I think especially during the holiday season, there's really a lot of opportunities to kind of spread that, just that sentiment with your kids of, hey, we're blessed for X amount of reasons. Let's go and bless others because this is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, we try to make a big deal about talking about how our faith calls us to give when someone else is in need. And so we find ways, especially during this time of year, like you said, the opportunities are just so abundant to give. All of my kids are born. Jack's late September, Wrigley is late November, and Hannah is legitimately 1 week exactly 1 week after Wrigley. So the way they fall, I mean, all the birthdays in the fall leading up to Christmas. We use like this 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks before, but between the last birthday and Christmas to go like, okay, what is it that understand, look at all of this you just got. Look at all the cool stuff you just got. What can we get rid of? Because there's a lot of kids that don't have all of this stuff. So what is it that you are willing to part with and they fill a bag and we take it to Goodwill? And so we try to do stuff like that. We try to do like one Angel Tree kid a year.
Yep.
Wrigley's in a thing called Trail Life, which is kind of like Boy Scouts. And he picked a kid last week at the meeting to buy for, and so we got to go out this week and buy for that kid. Another 6-year-old boy. So yeah, Wrigley's excited about that. But just anytime you can have a kid, look beyond themselves, and they don't see much beyond themselves at 4 and 6, regardless of what you do. But if we can get just this much right now, that can expand as they get older.
So, Kyle, before we get into our next topic, and I completely agree with everything you just said. Before we get into our next topic, we have his ears must have been burning because Matt says, "What's up, boys?" Matt, we were just talking about your burger challenge for next week, so we're looking forward to that. Again, Whataburger versus In-N-Out. Matt takes it on. Kyle, so one thing I had to talk about on this week's show before, and we're going to take a break after this, and we're going to get to the Bracketeers and our Christmas bracket because I know everybody's excited about the holiday bracket. We have gone through what people, I guess, very educated people call sleep regression here in the Draper household. We went through it with our daughter, who's 4. We went through it when she was about 2.5, 3 years old. Our son is knee deep in it. We tell him goodnight. He starts so about like he's about to cry. And then we close the door and it's just all hell breaks loose. Things are thrown. There's screaming involved. He's kicking and screaming, trying to climb out of the crib. And it's horrific. I mean, we went through a 3-night stand. So let me tell you, I guess it was on Friday night. No, Friday night. He was in his crib and he was standing in kind of the top corner of his crib. He was there from 7:30 p.m. standing in his crib till 3 o'clock in the morning. 7:30 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning, standing in one spot, not really making a whole lot of noise, but just standing there. And then he finally lay down. And let me
wait.
Yeah.
He stood. I want to make sure I understand this. 7:30 at night.
7:30 at night till 3 a.m.
Till 3 a.m. He stood in one spot and didn't move.
Did not move. Did not.
I don't buy it. I do not buy it.
Did not move.
That sounds like a horror movie.
I know. And I'll show you this, and our viewers can see. This is him tonight. So we transitioned him to a toddler bed. He is halfway in, halfway out. Luckily, he's sleeping. But yeah, it has been mass craziness in terms of sleep regression. Is this something that you guys have also dealt with? How did you survive?
I mean, yeah, we dealt with it. Still do from time to time, to be quite honest. Some people, some people see it when the baby's real young and they say, like, you need to feed the baby more. Yeah, they're teething. It's a growth spurt. You usually need to, like, coddle the baby. I can remember with Wrigley, I would just get up in the middle of the night when he's screaming, go get him, sit in the rocker and rock him while I slept. But Mama didn't like that a whole lot because she was afraid I was either going to, like, drop him or something. So it's
going on in your house.
Look, okay, no. Let's be real quick, okay? Let's not do this. So this morning we get up and we go to church.
Okay,
and
good God-fearing people do.
That's what we do. And my wife, Lauren, she's very, very intelligent. All right. But she's
our legal representation.
She is our legal representation. But you heard right before the show went live that her computer was left on top of the van as we left. Well, she just got back and found the computer on the side of the road.
Nice. And it's been there since when this morning?
So we left the house at 9, a little after 9 this morning.
Nice.
So
count yourself very lucky, Mrs. Castles.
Mike says you're lucky. She said,
I heard. Yes. Well, with that being said, we are going to take a break here. Then there's the feline.
She's always around.
There's just too much going on in that outro right now. So coming up after the break, guys, we've got the Bracketeers going to be joining us, and we are starting our 32 team or song bracket for the best holiday song bracket on the planet. We will be right back with that and much more on Dad's Watching Sports. Y'all stick with us. We will be right back. In addition to college football picks, one thing dads can't agree on is when to put up the Christmas lights. But what we can agree on is that Christmas lights are awesome. So do you live in the greater Nashville area and love Christmas lights? If so, reach out to the show by emailing dadswatchingsports@gmail.com, and we'll get you set up with tickets to the Dancing Lights of Christmas in Lebanon. Tickets are just $15 for some COVID-approved fun and getting out of the house. All sales benefit the Tennessee Kidney Foundation. So again, email us at dadswatchingsports@gmail.com for more details. Now back to the show.
Oh, it's
Okay,
back past Steve's house.
And we're back. Again, I don't know what in the world was going on.
I want to hear the story about she found the computer.
No idea.
So I just said, you got 30 seconds to go, and her story took too long.
Well, that's quite all right. Well, Kyle, it is that time.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
That's right, Michael Bublé. It is time for the holiday song bracket. I am so excited about this. And one reason I'm very excited about this is because of the guests that we're going to have coming on. And so let me introduce TJ and Joe of the Bracketeers. TJ and Joe, guys, how are you?
Doing great, guys. How about y'all?
Doing good. Joe, how are you, sir?
Yeah, doing great.
Hey, well, guys, we can't thank you enough for coming on and helping us. As I mentioned in the first segment, I'm a big fan of what you guys do on Twitter with the Bracketeers feed there. So if y'all want to just kind of quickly tell us a little bit about what it is you do, where to find it, how you got started, what was the motivation, kind of just everything involving with the site.
You want to take this, T?
No, you got it, Joseph.
All right. So started during COVID shutdown phase. I was at the office without much work to do. And I remembered a sports movie bracket that I saw on Facebook months earlier. And I decided to make a 16-team tournament and sent it to two different groups of friends. And I did it all manually just through pictures and updating the votes as they came in. And TJ and one of the other Bracketeers are on Twitter. And they call me and they're like, we think this will work really well on Twitter. What do you say you get on here with us and, we'll try to make this thing go. And I was like, guys, I don't tweet. So that's not, you guys have fun with that. So they do it for a couple months. Another guy joined up with them. So they had three of them. And they got me to do a wrestling draft with them, best wrestler. And so we have four drafters. As the people are picked, determines where they're seated in the tournament. And I wanted to follow along, so I'm constantly calling them, and my guy ended up winning it. I ended up winning that tournament as one of the drafters. And I realized how much fun it was. So I asked if the invite was still good. I joined up with them. And then, we just kind of have evolved. Just we try to give a fun break to people, something not very serious. This year has been really tough anyway. And it's been taken to really, really well as we've grown and kind of adapted to what our followers want and like.
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan. Like I said, I can't remember when exactly I started following you on Twitter, but I think it was definitely a movie bracket that kind of brought me in. And I'm definitely a big fan. I think you guys do some funny stuff, and there's a lot of people that get into it, which is really cool. So let me ask you guys, what is your favorite bracket that you've done?
Oh, so far?
Yeah.
I don't know. We've had so many. It's hard to nail down one that's the favorite, but probably I think that the 70s music bracket just killed it. It was we actually did an interview the other day with a big Twitter site, Keep Rock Alive, and we were talking to him about we're kids from the 80s and the 90s, and so we thought the 90s music was like the top notch, the king of the crop type of deal. But it once we started doing the research and putting it all together as far as like the songs to draft in that 70s song bracket, man, the 70s just killed it. And For me, that was my favorite. How about you, Joseph?
Yeah, the 70s music was good. 80s movies was a really fun bracket as well. Creating that bracket, having that draft, seeing how it plays out. That was our first one where we had some lower seeds make it pretty far. Christmas Vacation as a 4 seed made it to the finals, I believe.
Nice.
Major League as a 12 seed moved on pretty far. So we've had a lot of good ones there. We've had some with follower drafts. So we'll have 4 followers join up with us and they'll do a draft. And there's been some of those where as you see the other people kind of partake in it and have that interaction, that's really fun. We've had followers that didn't know each other do a draft, and now you'll see them talk through other tournaments to one another. They have become friends through doing tournaments together.
Yeah, that's really cool, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Is I think you've built like this little community of people that are really interested in kind of what y'all have going on. So I think it's really cool. So we've done a couple of brackets here on our show as well. So we did our first ever bracket was TV shows that our wives and kids like or watch, in which Sesame Street won. Then we did sports movie bracket, in which 42 won. And now here we are on our holiday song bracket, and we're very excited to have you guys joining us. So we're going to get started on the bracket. And for those of you that are streaming, I'm going to put it up on here for you. So we've got 4 different regions. We've got our classics region, just the classic Christmas songs that you think about. We've got our religious region of, it's Christmas is a religious holiday. And so we got those songs as well. Our other region is songs that probably could have fit in these other regions, but we felt like they were kind of here as an other. And then our kids region that's something that's big for us as well. So guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring up each individual matchup. We'll go around and have a vote. If we have a tie, we'll kind of come back to that, or figure out a way to break that, whether that's somebody paying attention and live streaming us, or we'll find a way to break the tie if we need to. And then we'll just kind of go through. We'll do the round of 32 and then the round of 16. We're going to take a break, commercial break. We'll come back and talk a few other things, and then we'll do the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, and the champion will be crowned. So we're looking forward to get this rolling here. So guys, we'll go ahead and get started in the classics region. Kyle, I'm going to come to you first. We've got the number 1 seed, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. We heard it coming in from the break, against Winter Wonderland, who actually was one of our 8 seeds. And so for those of you that are joining us for the first time and aren't really familiar with our brackets, we normally take the 8 seeds and we put them in a kind of a bracket of themselves. Winter Wonderland on Twitter, Kyle, we had 98 votes coming in. Winter Wonderland with a 55 to 44% win over Baby It's Cold Outside. So we got Winter Wonderland, the 8 seed, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, the 1 seed. Kyle, who do you have in this first matchup?
Well, look, Winter Wonderland's good. If this was Baby It's Cold Outside, I think I would have had a much harder time. But Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I mean, I'm wearing a Home Alone sweater, and the first Home Alone movie ends with that song playing. Or that's when his family shows back up. So Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
All right, TJ, we're coming to you. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas versus Winter Wonderland. Who you got?
I'm going to go same thing there.
All right, Joe, we'll bring it to you. Do we get a 3-0 sweep here? If it's 3-0, I don't even get a chance to vote. Are we going 3-0, or are you going to give Winter Wonderland a vote?
3-0.
3-0, okay.
3-0.
So Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas moves on to the second round, where they will face the winner of I'll Be Home for Christmas versus Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, the 4-5 matchup. These are usually pretty tough here. I'm going to vote first in this one, and I'm going with Rocking Around the Christmas Tree because, Kyle, you mentioned Home Alone, and that scene, where he sets up the house and he's got Michael Jordan riding on the train. That's one of the great scenes from that movie. So I'm going Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. Joe, what do you have in this matchup?
I'm gonna defer from you and go I'll Be Home for Christmas.
All right, so we've got 1 apiece. Kyle, it's coming to you for vote 3.
Look, so far, I like Joe. He seems to know what he's talking about. Yeah, I'll Be Home for Christmas.
I'll Be Home for Christmas gets 2. We've got a 2-1 lead. TJ, are we getting a tie or are we getting
tied up, boys?
Tied up? Very good. And we'll go to our comment section. Another TJ. So TJ Burns, who usually checks in with us, says rocking around the Christmas tree. So TJ gives us the 4th vote, and we are moving on. The 5 seed.
Pretty smart.
That's right. we are moving on. The 5 seed rocking around the Christmas tree is taking on. They'll take on Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas in the round of 16. All right, guys, let's get to the next matchup we've got. It's a Holly Jolly Christmas, and that is the 3 seed versus Blue Christmas. And Blue Christmas, of course, Elvis Presley, Kyle, same hometown as you and myself. So let's go with TJ. We'll get your vote first. You got Blue Christmas or Holly Jolly Christmas?
Holly Jolly for me.
All right, Kyle, who is your vote?
Look, my grandmother is a huge Elvis fan. Elvis or Christmas at her house included Blue Christmas, and so I got to go Blue Christmas here.
All right, we're tied up 1 apiece. Joe, Blue Christmas or Holly Jolly Christmas?
Holly Jolly for me.
So we're tied up 2, or I'm sorry, it's 2-1 Holly Jolly Christmas.
Great foreshadowing.
That is great foreshadowing, except for the fact that, Kyle, I love the fact that Elvis Presley shares our hometown, but other than that, I ain't got nothing for Elvis. Holly Jolly Christmas is moving on to the round of 16, where they will face, Kyle, the winner of White Christmas and Jingle Bells. Let's see. Kyle, we'll let you go first here since your team lost. You lost their Elvis Presley there.
I appreciate that.
White Christmas or Jingle Bells, Kyle?
White Christmas. Easy.
All right. TJ.
Jingle Bells for me, all the way.
Joe.
White Christmas, no doubt about it.
I am also going with White Christmas to move White Christmas on into the round of 16 as well. So if we look at our classics bracket, and I'm updating the regions as we speak, so if I pause for a second, y'all bear with me. But we've got Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas against Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, and then Holly Jolly Christmas and White Christmas. All right, guys, we're going to move on to the religious bracket. This is a bracket that will have all kinds of songs that are religious themed songs for Christmas. We're going to go the number 1 seed, and I believe this might have been the number 1 overall seed in the bracket. Oh Holy Night versus the First Noel. First Noel was one of our 8 seed matchups, as I mentioned before, and they ended up winning that kind of in a landslide. 65% of the vote of 84 people who voted going with First Noel. So I'm going first, and I'm going Oh Holy Night. TJ, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
All right, Kyle.
Look, both good songs, but I am not a fan of this artist any other time. But my wife had this on her phone for going back to, I think, when we were dating. Oh Holy Night by Celine Dion will give you goosebumps. So give me Oh Holy Night.
All right, so Oh Holy Night's going to move on. Joe, we'll go ahead and give you a vote, even though it's not going to count. Who would you have gone with?
I was actually going to go for the upset, too. I'll take the First Noel.
There you go. Well, Oh Holy Night is moving on to the round of 16. All right, guys, as we continue on through the bracket, we've got Silent Night, the 4 seed, going up against the 5 seed, Oh Little Town of Bethlehem. Joe, we'll go right back to you. Who do you got in the 4-5 matchup here?
Silent Night.
Silent Night. Kyle, who do you have in this matchup, Silent Night or Oh Little Town of Bethlehem?
Look, I think Oh Little Town of Bethlehem is the wrong one that should be there. What we should have is Mary Did You Know? So give me Silent Night, and we'll have the 2 nights battling it out.
All right, TJ, are you going to make it a 3-0 sweep?
Yeah, let's sweep it.
All right, so Silent Night going to move on to take on Oh Holy Night, and as Kyle mentioned, in the Battle of Nights going on in the Sweet 16. All right, let's move to the 3 seed, Come All Ye Faithful versus Away in a Manger. TJ, who do you got in the first pick of that one?
Away in the Manger for me, please.
All right, Away in a Manger. Kyle.
Look, I'll pick a lot of these based on, like, if there's a version I like that's really good. And as good as "O Come All You Faithful" is, Brad Paisley has a version of "Away in the Manger" that is just really freaking good. So give me that one.
Well, Kyle, let me tell you whose rendition of Away in a Manger is even better than Brad Paisley. So a young Michael Draper in the second grade at Hello Academy gave what is still regarded as the best performance in that school's history of Away in a Manger. So I am going with Away in a Manger as well for the 3-0 sweep. Joe, would you have gone Away in the Manger or Come All Ye Faithful?
I would have gone Come All Ye Faithful.
Oh man, Joe's falling a little victim here to us sweeping away his picks. So Away in a Manger with a little bit of an upset, the 6 seed over the 3 seed. Moving on, so we'll go to our last matchup of this bracket: Hark the Herald Angels Sing versus Little Drummer Boy. Kyle, who do you got in this matchup?
Mike, you know my father. You know Kenny. You know Kenny loves himself some Bob Seger.
Yes, he does.
And Bob Seger does a really great rendition of Little Drummer Boy. So in, I don't want to say memorial because that sounds like my dad's dead, but but in honor of my father, let me get Little Drummer Boy.
All right. Joe, who do you got here?
So my last name is Harold. So I'm obviously taking Hark the Herald because that is a very big song for me and my family.
There you go. Do you get royalties from that?
Yes.
Nice. All right, TJ, who do you got?
I'm going Hark the Herald too.
And I am going to finish the 3-1, finish off Little Drummer Boy. It's a great song, but not quite as good as Hark the Herald Angels Sing. All right, so our left side of the bracket is done, guys. If you look at the religious region, O Holy Night versus Silent Night, Away in a Manger versus Hark the Herald Angels Sing, which is very exciting. All right, we're going to move across the pond or across the way, whatever you'd like to call it, to the other region. The number 1 seed in that region is Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and this is the Bruce Springsteen version. I'll throw that in there. And they are going up against another 8 seed matchup that I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised that this one won. We had in that matchup of the other region, it was Wonderful Christmas Time, the Paul McCartney song versus Happy Xmas, The War Is Over, being the John Lennon song, The Battle of the Beatles. And Wonderful Christmas Time won pretty handily, 60% of the vote, which I'm shocked because I think this is a terrible song. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my vote out. My vote is for Coming to Town. Joe, what do you have?
I'm with you. Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
All right. Is anybody voting for Wonderful Christmas Time? Okay, let's just go ahead and throw that out there. Nobody is voting for Wonderful Christmas Time. So we will go ahead and move Santa Claus is Coming to Town on into the Sweet 16. The winner of Mama Santa Claus, Kyle, or Feliz Navidad. Kyle, who do you have in that matchup?
I don't speak Spanish. Therefore, I'm not picking Feliz Navidad. Give me Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
Kyle?
Go ahead.
That's where my vote is going. Feliz Navidad. So we're one apiece. TJ, who you got in this one?
I love singing Feliz Navidad mainly because I love to butcher trying to speak Spanish. So let's go with Feliz Navidad.
All right, Joe, are you going to tie us up or are you going to move Feliz Navidad along?
So I will say, I think this is the toughest first round matchup of the tournament. But one song is just much, much happier than any other song in this tournament. That's Feliz Navidad. So it
without a doubt. Absolutely. Feliz Navidad. Moving on. A slight upset, the 5. We've got 2 5s, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree and Feliz Navidad, both 5 seeds moving on in the bracket. All right. We're going to what I think is a really interesting matchup. We've got the 3 seed, the Hanukkah song by Adam Sandler versus the 6 seed. You know, we're all inclusive here on Dad's Watching Sports. It's not just about the Christian holiday. We also incorporate other holidays as well. So the Hanukkah song going up against the 6 seed this Christmas. TJ, who you got there?
That's Sandler, right?
Yes.
Absolutely, that's my pick.
Nice. Kyle.
Look, I don't know. This Christmas, I feel like is a stupid little Taylor Swift song, right?
No, it's I did my homework. Let me see who we've got here. Actually, did a little show.
You know, it doesn't matter. It's Adam Sandler doing the Hanukkah song. You know, the only way it could be better is if he just sang "Dreidel, Dreidel, Dreidel." Like, give me the Hanukkah song.
All right, so we've got 2 votes for Hanukkah. Joe, you going Hanukkah or This Christmas?
Yeah, I just don't want to rush through the draft. I want to take it at a nice medium pace, and I'll go with Adam Sandler with the Hanukkah song.
Very nice. I appreciate that reference. I think I would have gone Hanukkah song as well. I was really hoping I would have broken out, put on your yarmulke. It's time to celebrate Hanukkah. But we'll save that maybe for another matchup later on in the tournament. All right. Then our 2 seed is All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey versus Kyle's favorite Christmas song, Please Come Home for Christmas by the Eagles. Kyle, I'll give you the first vote here since this is one near and dear to your heart.
Look, there is 0 reason that anyone should pick All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, all right? There is 0 reason. That's because the Eagles come together and they bring us Please Come Home for Christmas. Quite frankly, I have this song up on my phone. Oh, there it is. About 4 different ways, 4 different versions of it, because it's that good of a song. Bells will be ringing as this 7 seed runs the Cinderella gauntlet all the way to the championship.
Very good. TJ, you don't have to be quite as –
Carey.
Say that again.
Anything but Mariah Carey.
Anything but I thought you said anything. I thought you said anything with Mariah Carey. I was going to say
no.
Hey, that's to each their own. I'll vote, and I may be turning in my man card here.
You are.
But I'm going with All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey because it's a great song, and my daughter loves to sing it, and I'm going with it because of Emma. So there you go, Kyle. Joe, are you tying this up, or are you moving the Eagles on?
I think Mariah Carey can wail, so let's go with her.
All right, so we've got our first tie. Well, our second tie. Yeah. So I tell you what we're going to do here. I'm going to pull up the Dad's Watching Sports Twitter feed here, and if you guys will bear with me just 1 second, I'm putting it's All I Want for Christmas Is You, and we've got Please Come Home for Christmas. All right, we are sending that out right now. Let's see here. Bear with me just a second. I'm going to tag the Bracketeers, and we're sending that out right now. We'll come back to that matchup here in just a second before we move on to the Sweet 16, and we'll see who moves on. So we'll save that. All right, let's go to the kids region, and in that region, we have got the number 1 seed is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer versus the Chipmunk Song, who was the 8th seed. Chipmunk Song, again, kind of a little bit surprising, just absolutely demolished All I Want for Christmas Is My 2 Front Teeth in our vote. 70% of the vote for the Chipmunk Song. Joe, Chipmunks or Rudolph?
Rudolph all the way.
Joe going Rudolph. TJ, who do you have?
Rudolph. Yep.
All right, Kyle, I'll give you the chance. Does Rudolph move on in a 3-0 sweep, or the Chipmunks hanging on for dear life?
Look, you can't pick against the Chipmunks, Simon, Alvin, and Theodore.
I'm muting you, Kyle, because yes, you can. And yes, you absolutely can. That's the song that I skip over when it comes on because it's terrible. So you were going to vote Chipmunks. I'm voting Rudolph. We're moving Rudolph on to the Sweet 16 where it should be. And it will face 2 classics here. You've got the Charlie Brown song from all the great Charlie Brown Christmas special versus You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. In the 4 or 5 matchup, I'll vote first. I love the Grinch song. We watched the Grinch movie last night, but it doesn't get any more classic or any more fantastic than Charlie Brown. So give me Christmas Time Is Here for the Charlie Brown kids. TJ, who you got in this matchup?
Give me the Grinch.
All right, we're 1-1. Kyle.
You know, Mike, we were talking about best speech ever.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about the Jimmy V speech, which is up there, but Linus's speech in the Charlie Brown Christmas special might be the best speech ever. But the song is not good enough to beat the Grinch.
Curveball. Very nice. All right, Joe. Does the Grinch move on, or are we tied?
I think 10 years ago it goes one way, but I think in 2020 it goes to the Grinch.
The Grinch moving on in this bracket. Very exciting for Mr. Grinch to move on. All right, guys. We've got in the remainder of that bracket, we've got the 3 seed Jingle Bell Rock, which is a great song. And then here comes Santa Claus, the 6 seed. Kyle, who do you have, Jingle Bell Rock or Here Comes Santa?
Up on the rooftop, reindeer paws. Yeah, I can't do it. Jingle Bell Rock. Look, you talk about getting rid of a man card. I kind of halfway enjoy the movie Mean Girls, and the Mean Girls sing it in the little Christmas talent show thing. So give me Jingle Bell Rock.
Jingle Bell Rock. There you go. Okay. I will also vote Jingle Bell Rock. Joe, Jingle Bell Rock or Here Comes Santa?
Here Comes Santa. It's a better tune to sing along with, I think.
All right. I like that reasoning. TJ, who you got? Jingle Bell Rock or Here Comes Santa?
Jingle Bell Rock for me.
Jingle Bell Rock moving on to the Sweet 16. It'll face the winner of Frosty the Snowman and Up on the Housetop. Joe, Frosty or Housetop?
So my daughters pick stories for me to read them every night. In the last 2 weeks, we read these Christmas songs. So I actually got to sing these songs, and I'm a terrible singer. And Frosty the Snowman is one of the most enjoyable songs that I sing from that book. So we're going to Frosty.
Nice. Very applicable, too, with it being dads watching sports for you to give us that. That's really cool. TJ, you got Frosty, or are you going Up on the Housetop?
Yep, I got to go Frosty as well.
All right, Kyle, does it make a 3-0 clean sweep?
Happy birthday! Give me Frosty.
My kids love that.
All right, so Frosty moves on. So in that bracket, the kids bracket, we've got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer versus Mr. Grinch, another 5-4 upset. Then Jingle Bell Rock and Frosty the Snowman. All right, guys, let's go back to our previous bracket. We were getting our Twitter poll to see how many people voted. We haven't had a whole lot of votes, but it is pretty overwhelming. And Please Come Home for Christmas knocks off Mariah Carey, which is just a tragedy. And so Please Come Home for Christmas is moving on. Congratulations, Kyle. Way to go. Any consolation or any speech, Kyle, for your favorite song moving on?
Yeah, I want to thank the dads watching Sports Nation. You came through. I'm sure there's some Bracketeers Nation as well that came through, did the right thing. You did the right thing. And we can argue about how that voting went in November and whatever. It doesn't matter. We got it right on December 6th at 9:13 at night. Thank you so much.
I like that, Kyle. That was a very good speech. It was almost like you had that prepared for us. You were waiting. I think that was more of like a championship speech that you were holding on for us. So I hope you didn't kind of set yourself up there.
Look, getting it through the first round, I'll consider that a win.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's true, without a doubt. All right. Well, let me pull up our updated bracket here, and we're going to have to move through the remainder of this pretty a little bit quicker than we did that first round, but we've got less matchups, so we should be able to do that. So, hot off the press, I was able to do that, Kyle. I'm glad you gave us a little time because I was like sitting here literally updating and saving this, putting it up here. So, thanks for stretching that speech out a little long. So, here we got Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas versus Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. Holly Jolly Christmas and White Christmas, Oh Holy Night, Silent Night, Away in a Manger, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Feliz Navidad, the Hanukkah Song, Please Come Home for Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Mr. Grinch, Jingle Bell Rock, and Frosty the Snowman. That is our Sweet 16. All right, guys, we're going to do these kind of rapid fire as we go through the next round. We'll start in the kids region here. So Rudolph and the Grinch. We'll just go one word only. Kyle,
Dolph,
TJ, and Joe.
Red nose.
All right, Rudolph, moving on. So in our next matchup, we've got Jingle Bell Rock versus Frosty the Snowman. I will go first. I'm going Jingle Bell Rock. Joe.
Frosty the Snowman.
Kyle.
Jingle Bell Rock.
TJ.
Frosty.
All right. We've got a tie. Very good. Very good. All right. For this one, I am going to we'll see if she answers here. All right, we're gonna call Mrs. Draper.
That's awesome.
See if she answers.
Come on, Sue.
Hello?
Hello?
Honey, you are on Dad's Watching Sports. How are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I've got a very important assignment for you here. We are in the Elite Eight, or the Sweet 16 to get down to the Elite Eight. We've got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer versus Frosty the Snowman. We have a tie. We need your vote.
Oh, not Rudolph.
Ooh, I'm going to say...
Frosty and Jingle Bell Rock.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking ahead. This is actually Jingle Bell Rock versus Frosty the Snowman. Sorry about that.
Then I have to say Jingle Bell Rock. It's our kid's favorite.
It is one of our kids' favorite. All right. Jingle Bell Rock moving on. Thank you, honey. We appreciate it. All right. So Jingle Bell Rock moves on, and they will face Rudolph with a chance to go to the Final Four. Very exciting there. All right. So our next matchup, guys, is we'll go to the religious region, Oh Holy Night versus Silent Night. We'll go TJ. Go ahead and give us your first vote.
Oh, Holy Night.
Kyle.
The night is silent, but it's more holy. So give me Holy Night.
The night is more holy, and I'm going Oh Holy Night as well. Joe, what would you have gone with?
Silent Night.
Man, Joe, I'm going to start coming to you before I vote when there's an 0-2 because I want you to at least get your – I at least want you to vote to count. All right, so Oh Holy Night moves on. We're going to the next part of the bracket, which will show Away in a Manger, a little upset over Come All You Faithful versus Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Joe, are you keeping the Herald going here?
I'm going Harold all the way here.
Very nice. Is anybody else going with him? TJ, what you got here?
What was the other option? I'm sorry.
Away in a Manger or Hark the Herald Angels Sing?
Yeah, I'll do Hark the Herald.
All right, Kyle's at a 3-0 sweep.
I'm going to let you vote Away in a Manger.
All right, I'm going Hark the Herald Angels Sing as well. I think they just move on, even though, again, if you want to, I'm sure somewhere in the files of Pillow Academy in Greenwood, Mississippi, they have what is widely known as the best rendition of Away in the Manger. They're out there. All right, so our religious bracket, the final or the Elite Eight matchup to go to the Final Four is Oh Holy Night versus Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Let's go upstairs to the classic bracket. So Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas versus Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. I will vote first, and I'm going Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. TJ.
I'm right there with you.
All right, Joe.
Little Christmas.
Which one did you say?
Merry Little Christmas.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so Kyle, you going to break a tie, or are you going to send it on?
Look, I'm rocking with you and TJ, and we're going to rock around that tree.
Rocking around the Christmas tree, and that gives us tied, correct?
No,
I
3-1.
think that's 3-1.
3-1. Okay, very good. All right, so Rocking Around the Christmas Tree moves on, knocking off the number one overall, or the number one seed in that bracket. What pretty big upset there. All right, so now we've got Holly Jolly Christmas and White Christmas. We'll go Kyle. You can go first.
White Christmas.
White Christmas. Joe.
I'm with Kyle. White Christmas.
TJ, does it make a 3-0 sweep?
Holly Jolly for me.
Holly Jolly. Man, this is tough. Holly Jolly Christmas or White Christmas? I'm going White Christmas. I think that's just a little bit better of a song. So, all right, White Christmas. All right, so in the Classics region, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree versus White Christmas for a chance to the Final Four. Let's move to the other bracket, and then we're going to take a quick break here. Kyle, in the other bracket, we've got Santa Claus is Coming to Town versus Feliz Navidad. What do you got, Kyle?
Look, we're still talking about the boss, right? Doing Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yes, sir.
Give me Santa Claus is coming to town.
All right, TJ.
Feliz Navidad all day.
Joe.
Feliz Navidad. It's too happy.
In a stunning upset, Feliz Navidad. Moving on to the round of 8, where they will face the winner of the Hanukkah song or "Please Come Home for Christmas." And I think there's not even a reason to vote here, guys.
Because "Please Come Home for Christmas" is going to move through.
I'm going with the Hanukkah song because it is time to put on your yarmulke and celebrate Hanukkah. Joe, who do you got?
Hanukkah song. Moving along.
TJ, does it move on and knock out?
Yeah, sweep it on in there.
There we go. All right, very nice. So the Hanukkah song versus Feliz Navidad.
You take too much joy. You take too much joy, Mike, in knocking out my song.
We absolutely do, without a doubt. All right, so our bracket is set to the Elite 8. We've got Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree versus White Christmas. We have got Oh Holy Night versus Hark the Herald Angels Sing, Feliz Navidad versus the Hanukkah song, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer versus Jingle Bell Rock. Guys, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we will finish the bracket. We'll be right back on Dad's Watching Sports. Coming up next week on Dad's Watching Sports.
Oh, yeah.
We have got Macho Man Todd Titan joining us to talk all things Tennessee Titans, NFL, dad life, Macho Man life, and everything in between. We're looking forward to that. Also, we've got a familiar face and voice coming back on the show next week. That's right. Matt Kirk is joining us. He's going to do the Burger Challenge. Whataburger versus In-N-Out. That and more on next week's show, the season finale of Dad's Watching Sports. We'll see you next week. And we are back here on Dad's Watching Sports. So we have got Michael Draper, Kyle Castles, Joe, and TJ all in the house. TJ will be back with us in just a second. But the guys are from TJ and Joe are from the Bracketeers. If you haven't checked them out yet on Twitter, please do so. They are hilarious. They do a great job with all the brackets that they put together. And I know we appreciate having them here on the show and helping us go through our Christmas bracket. Guys, I'm going to get us updated on our bracket in just a second. Before we do that, wanted to get into kind of one quick reminder. If you haven't checked out our shows so far, please make sure you go and check out whether you're checking us out in our live stream or you're checking us out via our podcast. We've got a lot of great episodes. This is episode 44. There's 43 other episodes out there. Kyle, we had a really great episode last week with Melissa Tomlinson. Just remind everybody a little bit about that episode.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great episode. She's she went to school with Mike, and they hadn't talked in, I don't know, a decade or so, maybe a little more, but a female football coach down in Alabama in the heart of football country, and really great insight from the coaching perspective, from a mom perspective. It was good stuff.
Yeah, it absolutely was. It was good to catch up with her. And I think, she just talked a lot about being a female coach and what that's been like. And I think one of the coolest things she, talked about was, wanting to, being that kind of calming voice. A lot of people don't think about that when they think about a football coach, but having from a mom's perspective and, talking about that a lot of kids, or not a lot, but there are some kids that, grow up where mom's really or grandma's the only voice that they have in their life. And so to have a female voice in terms of coaching football was really cool. So if you haven't checked that out yet, please do so. We're going to get to some really quick hitters really quickly before we finish up the bracket. And I wanted to get these, get some takes really quick. And TJ and Joe, feel free to jump in if you'd like on these topics. If not, then that's quite all right as well. We don't want to put anything out there that you may not follow. But Kyle, quick hitter number one is LeBron and Anthony Davis both signed multi-year deals with the Lakers. Are they the favorite, and do they repeat next year?
Are they the favorite? Yes. Do they repeat? More than likely.
TJ and Joe, you guys have any thoughts on LeBron and AD back with the Lakers?
They'll probably repeat, but I hate them.
I love
so he
Anthony
likes
Davis.
AD.
I think, Michael, I think you're a Kentucky fan too.
Yep.
So I like Unibrow, but I don't like the Lakers and I don't like James. So it's mixed emotions.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. I think that they're the best team. I think that they probably will repeat, but we'll let that kind of play out. Kyle, who is the best team in the NFL right now?
I mean, until I understand that the Steelers are undefeated, but until Kansas City loses when it matters, give me the Chiefs.
Joe, NFL teams, who do you think is the best team right now?
I think there's a conversation about it. I think it's the Chiefs.
TJ?
Yeah, right there with them.
Guys, the Steelers are undefeated. I mean, come on. How do you determine the best team in football? It's the team that hasn't lost a game.
You determine that at the end of the year when we say who wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that's how we determine.
Well, we'll see about that. All right, one more NBA.
People either.
That's true. They have not played the toughest of competition. One more NBA topic. There was a big trade this past week. The Rockets and Wizards. John Wall going to the Rockets. Russell Westbrook going to the Rockets or to the Wizards from the Rockets. I think this is kind of a wash trade. I think both players were not happy in the situation that they were in, so it'll be interesting to see how it kind of plays out. But if John Wall can get back to the way he was playing 3 or 4 years ago, I think it favors the Rockets. Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, and I think he does. So I think the Rockets got the better end of the deal.
Joe, any thoughts on that trade?
I think 6 months from now it won't matter at all what happened in that trade.
That's a good take. TJ?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much a wash. I just wonder if Westbrook is a little bit of a pain in the butt.
It does kind of seem that way. Seems like teams are very eager to trade him away. All right, guys, last quick hitter here. The most disappointing team in college football. Kyle.
So, I mean, there's a lot to pick from, but look, LSU kept coming off a dominating national championship run last year, and I understand they lost a lot, but this is LSU, and if you look at the recruiting classes, they should have been able to reload, and they didn't. So LSU is most disappointing.
I'm going with the Badgers. I thought Wisconsin, we talked early in the season. I thought Wisconsin was a team that was going to challenge for the Big Ten and challenge for the playoff, and they have kind of fallen apart. They've lost 2 or 3 games now, and they're just not there. So I'm going with Wisconsin. TJ, who do you think is the most disappointing team in college football this year?
Well, I'm a Gator fan, and my entire family is Florida State fans, and I can tell you 100% that is by far the most disappointing team to them. So,
without a doubt, that's a train wreck down there in Tallahassee. What about you, Joe?
I'm a homer. I mean, I'm a Kentucky fan, so I thought this was going to be a year when they could really kind of make some noise, and it's been a rough one this year.
The offense has been rough. Luckily, I say luckily. I'm never in favor of someone losing their job, but offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach for Kentucky today both were fired, so hopefully they'll be able to turn around the offense there in Lexington, which I'm looking forward to as well. All right, let's get back into the bracket. We've got 2 more rounds here. We're going to get through these very quickly. We'll go rocking around the Christmas tree versus White Christmas in the Elite Eight. Kyle, go ahead and go first.
I know you said quick. I'm sorry. This one's tough. You know what? Let's put a 5 seed in the Final Four. Let's go rocking around the Christmas tree.
I'm also voting for rocking around the Christmas tree. Joe, we'll let you go, so that way if you're voting for White Christmas and TJ's not, you can at least get your vote out there.
Yeah, I'm amazed that you guys like this song so much. So I thought you guys were the whole way through. Continue it. I'm going White Christmas.
All right, TJ.
I'm rocking.
Sorry, Joe.
Rocking around the Christmas tree.
Rocking around the Christmas tree.
Hey, Kyle, let's leave it to Brenda Lee, man. Come on now.
Hey.
Rocking around the Christmas tree. Moving on to the Final Four. Very excited about that. All right, guys. Let's move down to the religious region. Oh Holy Night versus Hark the Herald Angels Sing. TJ.
Sorry, Joseph. I got to go Oh Holy Night.
Oh Holy Night. We'll go ahead and go to you, Joe. I know you're sticking with your Hark the Herald Angels Sing, right?
Well, I would have voted for Silent Night here, but you guys mistakenly eliminated that song already, so I'll stick with Hark the Herald.
Kyle.
Hopefully you got the Celine Dion version ready to go. Give me Oh Holy Night. Or as you typed it on the screen, Oh Holy Night. I'm pretty sure that pretty sure we're not smoking a bowl or something this night. So,
that is a classic example of me trying to like type it in, screen capture, paste it, download the picture, and then put it up here before we can do it. But it is O'Reilly night, and O'Reilly night is going to the Final Four where they will face Rocking Around the Christmas Tree because I'm moving them on, and we're going to type O'Holy night for that one. For those of you not checking out our live feed, that is called Producing Live. What's going on there? All right, let's move to the kids region. We've got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer versus Jingle Bell Rock. TJ.
I got to go Rudolph here.
Kyle.
Rudolph.
Joe, I'm not going to do it to you this time. Go ahead and go.
I got a quick question. So
Yeah.
for the kids section, was the Jingle Bells Batman Smells version considered?
It did receive one
I
vote.
don't even want to talk about that.
It did receive
I'll go
one vote.
Rudolph.
All right, Rudolph. Rudolph moving on. I would have voted for Jingle Bell Rock, actually, but Rudolph moving on to the Final Four, where it will face what is definitely the Cinderella stories of the bracket, Feliz Navidad versus the Hanukkah song, and what is a very, very highly contested song matchup here, Kyle. So, Kyle, these are very different songs, but they're they kind of fit that other theme, which I really like. So you go in Feliz Navidad, or we putting on our yarmulke.
Look, I have not voted for Feliz Navidad once in this bracket. I refuse to vote for Feliz Navidad. I am happy to put on a yarmulke. I am happy to go to the synagogue. Give me the Hanukkah song.
All right, Kyle, that's one vote for the Hanukkah song. TJ.
It is very, very tough, but I'm sticking with Feliz Navidad.
All right, that's 1-1.
Don't
Joe, I'll give you the chance to break the tie here.
It's just such a happy song. I mean, Feliz Navidad.
Come on, man.
I love it. All right, so we've got a 2-1 advantage for Feliz Navidad. Man, this is tough. Oh, man, that is tough. For the right to go to the championship game. Man, you got David Lee Roth lighting the menorah. I got to go Feliz Navidad as well.
No!
Yeah, I do, man. Joe's right, dude. It is just a happy song. It's just so catchy, and I can't wait to actually play it at the end when they're crowned the champion of this whole thing, which is going to be awesome. All right, guys. I don't have enough time to update the bracket and get it pasted and whatever to get it up in front of you, so I'm going to just read this. So we've got Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree versus Oh Holy Night in one section of the Final Four. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer versus Feliz Navidad in the other Final Four matchup. Kyle, I'll go ahead and toss it to you first. We'll go with Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree versus Oh Holy Night. Who you got?
Oh Holy Night. Easy.
Joe.
I've not voted for either one of these two songs this entire time. I'm going to go with Oh Holy Night.
TJ.
Sweep it.
Oh Holy Night moving on to the championship game where they will face the winner of Rudolph and Feliz Navidad. You know what? Kyle, I'm waiting on you. We're going to wait on your vote. Can't even keep a straight face through this. I am voting first, and I am moving Feliz Navidad on for my vote. TJ.
Versus Rudolph?
Yes.
And it is tough. It's really, really tough at this point.
It is.
I got to go Rudolph on this one. I really do.
Okay. Joe.
I'm going to go Feliz Navidad.
As you should. As you should. All right, Kyle, does Feliz Navidad move on?
Come on, Rudolph.
Okay, so we've got Rudolph and Feliz Navidad tied at 2. Let's see. How can we break this tie? We've done a Twitter poll. We've done a comment. We've called my wife. Let's see. Kyle, is your wife is usually in the room. Is she there?
Just stepped out, but I can text her real quick.
All right.
Oh, he's texting.
Shoot her a text. We'll talk about something else before we do that. While we're waiting on that vote, all right, we've got a couple of college football games this weekend. We usually do picks on this show, guys, so we'll let you be our celebrity pickers. Our first game of the weekend that we're going to pick is University of North Carolina going to Miami, so it'll be at Miami. Joe, you got the Tar Heels or the Hurricanes?
I'm not knowledgeable enough to have an opinion on that one.
All right, TJ.
I think that I'll probably Miami. I've really only watched them a couple times, and against Clemson they couldn't do anything. So I think that North Carolina's gonna get it done.
Kyle, I'm going with the Hurricanes. You got the Tar Heels or the Canes?
You know what? There's something about this Miami team I like. So yeah, I'm with you with Miami.
All right, let's move on. Michigan and Ohio State. It's usually a really sought-after game to watch. Michigan stinks, and Ohio State's really good. TJ, who you got, Michigan or Ohio State?
I hate them, but got to go Buckeyes.
Joe?
Yeah, Buckeyes are taking that one.
Kyle?
I think I got a feeling we're all going to pick Ohio State in this one because, good God, they're awful.
I think you're absolutely right. All right, Washington at Oregon. Not a very good matchup from anybody cares standpoint, but I thought it's a Pac-12 game and it's got two teams that are halfway decent. I'm going with the Huskies. Kyle, Washington beating Oregon. Who do you got?
Yeah, you would because you used to live up there.
Sure.
I know Oregon got beat again this past weekend, but I think they're going to fix it and they're going to beat Washington this week.
TJ?
I got to take the Joe stance on this. I don't have a good opinion on it.
Hey, that's quite all right. Sometimes we don't have any opinion either, and we're just like, whatever. Joe, you got any thoughts on Washington and Oregon?
Same thing. I don't know enough to have an opinion on it.
All right, no problem there. All right, last game, Army-Navy. Kyle and I both voted this as the best rivalry game in college football a couple of weeks ago. I'm going Army because I think they're always better than Navy. So I'm going with the Cadets. Kyle?
Go Army, beat Navy.
Joe?
My uncle's a Navy man, so I'm going Navy.
All right, and TJ?
I got to go Army. Didn't they have a big win this past weekend?
Yeah.
I think they did. Yep.
Army's like 6-2 this year. Navy's 2-6, 2-7, something like that. It's going to be Army.
Yep. All right. Kyle, do we have a vote from Mrs. Castles?
We do, and it is Rudolph.
Oh, that is so tragic.
And if she had voted the other way, it still would have been Rudolph.
I was going to say if it's in the text.
There's a reason I texted and didn't call.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Our championship matchup. We've got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the number 1 seed, versus Oh Holy Night, which was widely regarded as the number 1 overall seed. I will go first, and because I just cannot vote for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I am going Oh Holy Night. TJ.
All right, so I've got a reason why I'm voting Oh Holy Night. Have you ever seen the version of the dude who absolutely butchered Oh Holy Night?
No.
All right, so he was 100% legit attempting to sing it well and sang the worst version of the song you'll ever hear in your life. I'll make sure we tag you in it. I'll get it to you.
Nice.
So we got to go Oh Holy Night on that one.
All right, Joe, do you make it a clean sweep for Oh Holy Night, or does Rudolph have one leg to stand on?
Yeah, I think all the kids will be upset, but Oh Holy Night's going to beat Rudolph in this one.
There you go. Kyle, I know you would probably vote for Oh Holy Night anyways.
Yeah. I was actually going to say something about Rudolph can't finish playing in these reindeer games, but
ooh, nice. Very nice. All right, so there it is. Oh Holy Night, the first ever Dads Watching Sports Holiday Bracket Challenge. TJ, Joe, again, guys, thank y'all so much for joining us on the show and going through this. And just to quickly, again, either one of you, just tell people where they can find you on Twitter and maybe what's the current bracket you've got going, and then if you're okay saying what's maybe one you've got coming up.
You can find us on Twitter at Bracketeers. Unfortunately, the Bracketeers was already taken, so we had to put the behind the Bracketeers. We actually just put one up today. The most hated, it's right up y'all's alley. The most hated sports personalities. So
Christian Leitner.
Yeah, he's number 1. He was the number 1 seed. So.
All right, very good. Well, guys, again, thank you all very much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. Kyle, it's been a good show, and man, we crowned a champion, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, that's awesome. As long as it wasn't Feliz Navidad.
Oh man, robbed, absolutely robbed. Well, guys, we will see you next week. It is our season finale of the show. We're going to take the last 2 weeks of the year off. So we've got, again, Macho Man Titan Todd. Matt Kirk comes back to do a burger challenge, all that and much more next week on Dad's Watching Sports. Y'all take care. We'll see you next week. Oh, holy night. I tell you what, hold that thought. We'll go out with Oh, holy night. Y'all take care.